Hi guys, it's Andrew here with this week's lesson. It's an important lesson. I've called it the 7 levers of a fitness business. I should put in brackets there, or how to double your profits. And really, these are the key to any business, no matter what industry we're in. But I'm going to go through each of the 7, and as it says there, ignore them at your peril. Now, I'm going to say this right up front because this article is going to involve some maths. But so if you're numerically challenged, don't panic. It's pretty basic, and I'll take you through step by step. Okay, so let me flick through. So the 7 of the levers are going to be outlined as follows. Now, I call them levers because if you pull on any of the elements by improving them even slightly, it's going to increase your profits accordingly. So the first one is traffic. That's followed by opt-ins. Next up is conversions, followed by items per sale or transactions per sale. Average item value is number 5. Your profit margin number 6, and finally transactions per client. Okay, so traffic, this essentially is every person who walks into your studio, comes by your website, lands on your landing page, but basically we're talking about first-time visitors, prospects, ultimately. The second is opt-ins. This refers to individuals within your traffic stream, if they're coming to your landing page, who take a step beyond that of merely casually kicking the tires. If they walk in to the studio, they walk out with taking advantage of a free trial, for example. On your website or landing page, that might refer to people who input or register their name and email address through your lead capture in exchange for them receiving a lead magnet. Maybe it's a nutrition guide, maybe it's a mobility PDF, or maybe, as I said, it could be the opportunity to partake in a free trial session with you. Conversions, this is the percentage of people who opt in, but then ultimately pull out their credit card and commit to spending money, i.e. they become a paying client of yours. Items per sale, this is simple. It's the average number of items purchased by each client, be it a PT session, be it a bit of a hybrid model where they pay for PT and semi-private training, or maybe they ultimately buy other items as well. Maybe you've got some clothing, maybe you've got nutritional supplements that you sell, maybe there's a workshop, and so on and so forth. The average item value, or average transaction value, to get this figure, you simply divide the total value of all the items you've sold in a given period, let's say over the course of a month, by the total number of items or number of clients that you sold to in that same period. Transactions per customer, or per client, I should say, sorry, is on average how many of them make repeat purchases. And your profit margin, after you subtracted the cost of making those sales, what's the average profit margin of each sale as a percentage? And I'll go through how to do that. Still with me? Hopefully so. I'm going to go through some examples to enable you to do that. But before I go any further on that, I guess the first question you should be asking yourself is, am I able to calculate each of these steps, each of these elements? If not, then I suggest that you look at getting together the details that you need, the numbers you need to enable you to do that, because get this right, and this could take significant headaches off your shoulders. If you think about it this way, unless you have a way of calculating this, there's no real way of knowing if your business is even profitable. You could, in fact, be totally unaware of it, that you could be making losses, which is going to have a significant effect on your cash flow and could possibly push you to bankruptcy. And that's why a lot of businesses, small businesses, close down because they've not got these elements in place. And as we say on coaching calls, it's important to track and measure what you do. Okay, so as I say, let's go through an actual example. This is a little small, but I was trying to get it all onto one page. So I've put together, I plucked some numbers in and around driving people. I guess I've got the assumption that we've got some marketing out there which are driving people to a landing page. And so on. So step one is traffic. And we're surmising here that 500 people have visited your website or landing page during the past month. That works out at an average of 16 people per day. I think that's easily achievable with the right type of marketing out there, be it through your emails, be it through social media ads or social media content, or be it through more direct mail or in-person meetings and so on. But we're driving 500 people to your website each day. That's step one. Step two, on the opt-ins, 10% of those people download your lead magnet or take advantage. Let's say your lead magnet is a free trial. They take advantage of your free trial. So 10% of 500 people, that's 50 opt-ins that you've received. They review or read your lead magnet. They come along and let's say that it was a group training session. You've invited them to trials or whatever that offer might be. You've gone into converting them now. So we're looking to sell. And again, we're using a 10% basis of those who attend your free trial, go on and become a client. They make a purchase. So 10% of 50 equals 5 new clients. Not too shabby. Okay, our items per sale. I'm going to keep it simple here and say that, let's just say that in most cases, each new client purchases one item, i.e. One of your packages. So 5 packages are sold to those new clients. Step 5, the average package value, the average item value. Let's say that your price point of this package is £200. So your total new sales for the month are £1,000. 5 new clients at £200 each equals that £1,000. Step 6 is transactions per customer. Again, I want to keep this simple. So let's say you don't currently receive any repeat business. Now, I know that that's not going to be the case, but as I say, for this example, I want to keep it simple. So the number of transactions per customer or per client is 1. So your total sales are still £1,000. And then step 7, your profit margin. So after paying out, let's say, trainer wages for taking sessions, your rent, energy bills, etc., your profit margin on each sale is 50%. So your net profit on these new sales is £500. 1,000 times 50% equals £500. So that's your profit margin. So hopefully you can take those steps, but read through it. I'm going to share this, so read through it again, just so that you can grasp the concept here. because as I say, it's extremely important. Now, let's say that we increase each lever by just 10%. So if you recall on the previous slide, I'd suggested traffic being 500 visitors to your landing page. So if we increase 500 visitors by 10%, then we have now 550 visitors. Step 2, the opt-ins, if we increase that again by 10%, so that 10% now becomes 11%, because 10% of 10 is 1. 1 add 10 equals 11. So we're at 11%. So that now means that we're going to have 61 people opting in instead of 50, because that's 550 times 11% equals 61 people. So I've already had an 11 person increase downloading your lead magnet or taking advantage of your trial, whatever that opt-in is. Step 3, conversion. Again, if you increase your conversion rate of 10% by 10%, so it now becomes 11%, your total sales now total 7, because 11% of 61 people is 7. So again, we're up now from the 5 in the previous example of new clients. Now we have 7, an increase of 2. In step 4, items per sale. Again, we've got that 10% increase of 1 purchase per client. That becomes 1.1. Just in simple terms, stay with me on this. This means that 1 in every 10 clients purchase 2 packs or 2 programs for you. I've had that fairly frequently with clients, because they've came along with their partner. They're interested as well, so both of them purchase, or it might be 2 friends and so on. It doesn't happen every sale, but as I say, looking at my numbers previously, in every 10 it would happen on average about once, which is why we've got this in here. So if that's the case in your business, now where the total items sold or total packages sold are now 7. That's 1.1 times 7, and I've rounded that down. In step 5, average item value or average package value. That's increased from in the previous example, I'd said £200 per program. 10% on that now makes it $220 per program. You've increased your prices by 10%. So your revenue is now 1,540 from these new sales. Transactions per client is step 6. And again, as with previous, we're going to increase that to 1.1, which means 1 in every 10 clients comes back another day to make a second purchase. Again, that might be they started with you, they've been telling friends about the sessions, and their friend comes along through by way of a referral, and they make that purchase. So you've doubled up on the number of clients from that one transaction. So revenue is now 1,694, because it's at 1,540, which we've generated in step 5 above, times 1.1 equals 1,694. And then finally, increasing our profit margin by 10%. So in the previous example, it was 50%. 10% of 50 is 5. So 50 add 5 is 55%. That means our net profit from this will be now 932, because it's the 1,694 revenue received in step 6 above, times 55% equals that 932. So if you can think back to the first example, our net profit was £500 from those 5 clients. We've increased our new clients by 2. We've increased everything, each lever, by just 10%. But you can see now that our net profit in the last example was £932, which is £432 higher than the previous one. So it's not double, but it's almost doubled your bottom line. So I hope you can see the power from this. So this is a really quick lesson I've gone through today, but it's an extremely important lesson. So as I say, this has gone up. Any questions you might have, pop it into the Facebook group, and I'll look to answer them. But as I say, these 7 levers or 7 steps, if you can make sure that you've got the numbers on them, you're analyzing them, and then looking to increase them by and I've just used a simple example of 10% there. It shows what you can do. But what happens if you increase them by 15% or 20%? You know, what happens there? You know, this starts going up and up. And in fact, if you were to increase each lever by 20%, that is going to increase your profits by a whopping 258.3%. So that's why on our coaching calls, we drill down and say, hey, do you know your numbers? Have you reviewed your numbers? Let's look at your numbers. Then, you know, these are the reasons why, because these little subtle tweaks that we can make means, you know, it's by just slightly improving them, it means that there's a lot that we can do to your bottom line. And it's a far easier than the alternatives out there. You know, if you're receiving, again, in that example, 500 visitors a month to your website, then, you know, what do you need to do to double that to 1,000 visitors? You know, that might be challenging. Let's say that you don't have the capacity to take on 50 trialists in free trials each month. You know, what can we do? Well, the answer, I think, is looking at the levers, these 7 levers: traffic, opt-ins, conversion, items per sale, average item value, transactions per customer, per client, and profit margin. Okay, so have a look, go back to a couple of slides, look at those examples, try and plug these in yourself, and give us a shout. Let us know how you get on. And of course, any questions, ping us, and we'll speak to you again very soon. Take care, and bye for now.